Hello friend, this is Paper Kitty. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be working on some more of my natural or nature junk journal ephemera. And so I'm just doing a little bit more. I'm using that paper that I made, which is kind of a homemade, natural, kind of organic paper. And as I mentioned in a couple videos before, what it is basically is I took some paper. In some cases it was watercolor paper, and in other cases I used just regular paper actually, and I liked it both ways. But the majority of these bits that I'm using right now was made from that watercolor paper. And so what I did is I went ahead and there's a lady on YouTube. Her name I believe is Annelis. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but if I find her video, I will post it below, because she kind of inspired me to do this. I think there might be a few differences in the technique, but basically what I do is I get the watercolor paper, and then I put some tea bits, like actual herbs, onto the watercolor paper. And then I also add a little bit of acrylic color. I think I saw her using a little bit of watercolor, but I wanted to use acrylic because I wanted the colors to be a little bit richer. And so I used a little bit of that kind of lilac, sort of a little bit of purplish, some of that terracotta yellow, a little mustard yellow, some of those greens, a little bit of the browns. And so I kind of just did a mixture of that. Not all in one page. I did each page kind of similar tones or a mixture of them accordingly. And then I put glue, and then I put the tea, the dried up tea that I had used, and those little bits of tea that come out of the tea bags. And in many of these cases it was I had loose tea, and so the loose tea was rosemary, and so you got those bits that are kind of long, kind of like nettles, and so they gave a really cute design. I thought really pretty. Also, when you tear the paper, you see that the white edges, the really white edges, which I kind of like because it kind of is a contrast without having to go with black. Because, typically to have a contrast, you have to have white or black, and sometimes black is a little too dark for me. Not always, but in this case, I felt like having that lighter border there on the fussy ripping was a good idea. So I hope you think so too. So yeah, I'm just here showing you other things. Now this one I usually actually put it through my Sizzix. So it's not fussy ripped. It's actually cut on with a die cut with a circle die. And I really enjoyed that too, because I like how when it went through the Sizzix, it actually squished it, pretty it made it more compact, less chunky. And I like them both ways actually, but it was just a fun idea to, like I said, put it through there and kind of make all those fibers and that whole thing just be more compact like that. And so, it's just different techniques, but they're both fun ways to do this. And so anyway, to finish the idea of how I completed this paper is I put once I put the glue again, like a last layer of glue, I went ahead and put the napkin, like a really thin napkin, just a single layer. And on some of them I used, like, I think I had some Starbucks, napkins left over from the other day, and so they're kind of a little bit of a beigey brown color, and so that was really perfect. On some I actually did use the little white ones, and so it it just depends on what kind of colors you're trying to bring out, but I did like the darker one, like the beigey, little darker khaki-ish kind of napkin. And of course you want to use just a single layer because otherwise you might get too messy, a little too chunky there. And so now what I'm doing is, after that's all been said and done and dried and fussy cut or fussy ripped or die cut like I did here, I am grabbing some little images of some plants and flowers from a vintage gift wrap paper that I've had for a long time, and I collected that at I believe they're a thrift store, an antique store, something like that. And so I really like how I'm able to put that together. And of course, the colors are a little too bright and it doesn't look quite as natural. So I do end up putting some clear gesso at the end, just to kind of bring back those colors that are a little too bright. But at the end of the day, like I said, I was able to go ahead and just glue those pieces. I didn't fussy rip them. What I did is I have a scissor that has like really squiggly line cut, and so when you cut around it kind of is a messy cut, and so that kind of made it look sort of like a fussy ripping. And so that turned out, I thought, better than when I fussy cut the flower or the leaf perfectly. It just looked less natural that way. So I really loved using those irregular kind of squiggly line kind of scissors. Now I didn't use the ones that have like that perfect. It's not the fabric ones. That's a whole different scissor there, and I don't think it would have worked quite as well. But yeah, this just gives it a messy edge, and so I fussy cut with that squiggly scissor, and so it gave me a more natural look, kind of a more of a fussy rip look. But I had a little bit more control. That was the whole point of me not fussy ripping, because when you're going so small on these itty bitty images, it's really hard to fussy rip them with your fingers. So it was really nice idea. Maybe that's a quick tip, to use those squiggly scissors. I wish I knew a better word for them because squiggly scissors sounds funny. But anyway, it's just one of those scissors that when you cut, you get like a ripped look, basically. And but like I said, it gives you a little more control so that you're able to go around it. And, like I said, I felt like it looked a lot better on these little bits, especially after I glued them. Later on, I do the gesso, the clear gesso. The white gesso was too much. And so I think the clear gesso is sufficient. And yeah, so I just picked out, cut out these little images from the gift wrap paper, and then applied them there to the different bits that I cut out. And that was a lot of fun. And then later on, I do use these elements to decorate tags. And so I think I might have shown some of that in a previous video or two. And then going forward, I have some images of different tags that I've worked on that are also going to be showing some of these, how I used these. So stay tuned for that. I may be able to stitch the video that shows my Instagram video. I did a little Instagram video. I hope I didn't erase it already. Hopefully not, so that way I can go ahead and put it here at the end of this video, and you can get a better idea of what that looks like. So anyway, stay tuned, because you definitely want to see that. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's so fun to share. I hope you will comment below. Love interacting with you. Be sure and hit the notification bell after you hit the subscribe button, so that you will be notified when I have a new video for you. Also, be sure and hit the all setting on the notification, because otherwise YouTube will not automatically send you videos. And I definitely want you to I definitely want you to stop by and say hello. Definitely, like I said, comment below, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And I'm going to go ahead and also encourage you to check out my Instagram, and I am going to post that below in the description box, so that you will have easy access to that. I will actually put the different ways you can contact me if you would like. And so thank you again for spending this time with me. Be sure and stay towards the end, and see, at least a few of the tags that I've made with these. It's not everything I've used, because I still have some more stuff that I just did recently yesterday that is not on video yet. So there's definitely more to come. But yeah, if you like this nature junk journal theme, please let me know that as well, and let me know what your kind of favorite videos are. If you like the flip throughs better, or if you like the craft with me. I'm always interested to know your opinion. Again, thank you so much. Love you so much. Love you so much. And I will see you in the next one.